Welcome to Surfside Stories. Today is one of the most exciting days I have had. This is like number 53 or 54
Wow.
podcasts I've been doing, and I've loved every one of them, had some great experiences. But there's nothing more exciting than getting a newcomer into the beach music
Yeah.
here in the studio. I am so looking forward. Harper, by the way.
Yes.
Last name?
Sanders.
Harper Sanders. I knew
Yeah.
just Harper. I hear her on the radio every day. Love her. I get to see her up at the Tiki Bar.
Yeah.
But Harper's all I knew. Now I know Harper Sanders.
Yeah.
I will tell you, this girl has got a love for beach music. She's got a love for music. We're going to let you tell her about her degree. She can tell you about how she studied the music thing. But we're going to we're going to start at the beginning.
Okay, let's do it.
The youngest times you can ever remember loving music, playing music. If you ever played an instrument, the first time you ever did that.
Yeah.
If you ever sang a song, first time you ever did. We're going to start at your youngest age, and you're going to tell your life story.
Okay.
You are in charge until you get to the point where you tell us, who is Miss Cheeseburger?
Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. So that's definitely going to be a lifespan of stories. I'm excited to tell it. I will tell it.
Good girl.
Okay. Let's start with. I feel like I should start with the first time that I kind of got an understanding of maybe what you would say like beach music. So as a kid, always loved music.
Where'd you grow up? Let's start there.
I grew up in Springfield, South Carolina.
Okay, where's Springfield?
If you know where Aiken, South
Oh,
Carolina
yes.
is, it's like 20 minutes from Aiken. Usually no one knows where Springfield's at
I
because
didn't, but I know Aiken.
exactly, that's what most people say, but Springfield is very, very tiny.
Okay.
The only people that live there are me and my church. Very small.
Y'all had music in Springfield.
Yeah, we have the music that we sing on Sundays in our little Baptist church.
Okay.
That's as far as the music goes there.
You wouldn't believe how many people I have interviewed that started in church music.
Yeah.
Probably more than 50 or 60%.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was in
So join the
children's
choir.
choir,
Okay. You sang in
children's
the choir.
choir, children's bells.
You sang in the choir.
Yes, but not by myself because I am not.
No solos.
No solo. I had one solo, and I remember it very vividly. It was on an Easter Sunday, and it was like a 10-minute solo. And I remember at the very end, whenever I was supposed to hit the high note, my voice cracked, and I was humiliated. And after that, I never sang another solo ever again.
About what age were you at that time, baby?
I think I was probably like 11. I think it was 11. But I mean, that still remains one of my top 10 most embarrassing moments of my life. And
I bet it would have been awesome. I would love to have a recording of that.
Oh, you do not want to. If you can imagine it and imagine how embarrassing it was, like that's pretty much what it was.
Okay, so did you sing any at school or any choirs or anything?
No, not in school. Just sports in school. But even sports, I wouldn't say I was like
sports.
I wouldn't even say I was a triathlete. I was good enough to get by, I'd say.
I want to hear sports.
Sports. My mom always jokes with me, and she says that like I pretty much was a Renaissance woman. I did everything, but I never was like number one at everything. I was probably like number 5 at everything. Like I did volleyball.
Versatility is great.
Yeah, I just like to be a role.
So great. Volleyball. What else?
I did volleyball, softball, horseback riding, drama club, debate team, bowling team for 2 years. Oh, am I missing one? I definitely probably am. I tried out for track and I was like, running is not for me. I hate to run. The only time you're ever going to see me running is if I'm running for my life. So I didn't continue on with that. I did art lessons. I did tap. I did jazz. I did clogging whenever I was really little.
Wow.
I did.
That's cool.
I did all of it.
Diversification.
Yeah. I did a good bit of stuff.
Okay, now you're sitting on stage and you kind of crackle a little bit on that last note.
Yeah.
Take us from there.
Okay, so from there, I would say, I mean, I always loved all sorts of music, but on both sides of my family, I was introduced to oldie goldies and a lot of what you would consider to be Carolina beach music from a very early age, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, I would be in middle school listening to doo-wop music in my headphones, and my friends would
I didn't realize you even knew the term doo-wop. I'm impressed. That's great.
Yeah, I loved and I still love Dion, the Belmont, Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson.
Great.
Those were a lot of
great.
A few of my favorites, like Little Richard. Those were a lot of my favorites growing up. And
you've got the right names.
Yeah, they were my favorites.
Go ahead.
They still are. But I listened to a lot of that, which was very much not like the rest of my friends. The rest of my friends thought they didn't make fun of me, but they thought it was like silly that I like my playlist of 50s and 60s was way more songs than the current new age music that we were listening to. And I've just always been like that. And beach music has been very prevalent on both my mom's and my dad's side of the family.
That's impressive and very, very positive on your part.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. I do. And so I guess from there, I guess I'll move on to I get into Clemson. I had always wanted to go to Clemson. Both sides of my family are Tiger fans. It was like, in my family, you just kind of know you're going to go to Clemson.
Okay.
Like I have two younger brothers, and one of them, he's doing, the middle child, he had his freshman year of Clemson whenever I graduated as a senior last year. So that was fun. Us both being a Tiger at the same time. But yeah, it was just ingrained in me that I was going to go to Clemson one day. And then thankfully I got in. And then I was a communications major, and I had a minor in journalism and social media writing.
So why did you pick communications?
So a lot of people like to make fun of communications majors and say that they're just there for the party. But but while I was there for the party as well, I genuinely did pick it because it was just the one thing that intrigued me, and I liked how it's the most diverse major. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to use my voice, I guess, for a lack of better words, for what I wanted to do career-wise one day. I had no idea I was going to end up on the radio at that point. I thought I was going to end up in as like a marketing rep or something at that point. But it wasn't until my junior year of college I had to, in order to graduate as a communications major, you have to have 2 internships. And I had 0 internships underneath my belt at that point because I wanted to intern in a place that I truly wanted that to be towards my career path. And so it was junior year of college. I knew I had to have my first internship that summer or else I was not going to graduate. It was just, I had to. And so at that point I started praying about it. I was like, Lord, put something in my lap. Everyone's always like, follow your passion. And I was like, God, I don't even know what my passion is. I've done a million different sports. Like, obviously, I'm the poster child for doesn't know who her passion is. Like, or what her passion is. I just had no idea. And so I prayed about it and I prayed about it. And at this time, my mom and my mom's side of the family were big listeners of the surf. So whenever I'd come home from Clemson, the surf would always be playing either at my mom's house, my grandma's house, sometimes my aunt's house. And so I came to really love to surf. And I would listen to it at Clemson sometimes. And there was one particular day where I was in the middle of not knowing what I wanted to do for an internship or what I wanted to do career-wise, that I was listening to the surf, and I thought to myself, I can't even remember what DJ I was listening to at that time, but I just remember thinking, man, those guys have the best job in the whole world. All they get to do is listen to great beach music and crack jokes on the air, make people laugh. I would love to do something like that. And then it was like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, well, why don't I do something like that? And ironically, Cole...
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. It definitely was an answered prayer. Like, I was in prayer about it, and then God gave me this epiphany one day, and, I mean, we all know that the rest is history.
He spoke and you listened.
Exactly. I'm just grateful he spoke, because I don't know where I would be today if not. But ironically, Old Cold Soul graduated with one of my first cousins from USC. So I actually knew a little bit about him. I didn't know him, but I knew of him, and I knew that he worked at the surf at that time. So I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I know that you work at the Serve and that you interned there at one time.
Now, was this before your first intern?
Yes, this was before my first. This is still junior year before I even interned at Sir.
Okay.
So I asked him how I could get started potentially interning. He gave me he didn't even really give me much information. He just sent me the boss lady's number. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay, what am I going to do with this information?
Oh, I can imagine Cole doing that.
Yeah, he just put it straight to the point.
That's Cole.
Yeah, that's cool. And I appreciated it. There was no BS. He cut right through it. It was like, here's the number you need to call. And so I got in contact with Jessica Worley. And I was in contact with her for about a week. And by the end of that week, she said that she was going to talk with Jim Morgan about me interning there. Then I was on my junior spring break on a cruise ship. And I got the email on my phone of them congratulating me that I got the internship, and I was so excited.
Oh, good.
And then pretty much the rest was history. Then I interned there last summer, and I guess I must have done a well enough job to where they offered me a job to come back. And now I'm here for my second summer and officially moved here and going to be here for much longer, I hope.
I got to tell you, having a few friends that work there, like Morgan and Quick, and DJ Heavy, and Ken Law, and Cole when he was here, all of them appreciated your time in the studio when you were here interning.
Well, I really appreciate that.
Why? What did you bring with you? Because you brought something with you that most people don't. What's the difference?
That's a really good question, and I sometimes ask myself, why do people like to listen to me? I think that I talk too much, and I don't think I have that much to offer. But
you don't talk too much, no.
Yeah.
I'll disagree with you.
Well, I think that I think maybe I brought a bit of youthful naiveness, humor. If I could combine all that into one paraphrase. Like whenever I first started, it's kind of funny because my mom recorded segments of me on the radio at the beginning of the summer and at the end of the summer. And at the beginning of the summer, I was very naive. I was kind of shy. Then by the end of the summer, I was hooting and hollering on the radio, cracking jokes with Jim Quick like there's no tomorrow. And so I think maybe people really...
That's a good comparison with Quick.
Yeah, exactly. He'll bring it out of you.
Oh,
if you're not a hooting and hollering person, Jim Quick will bring it out of you. And so I think, honestly, people maybe enjoyed my journey of hearing how I grew on the radio that summer, how it went from me being, like, more naive, maybe a little bit more bashful, and then each day I went on, I warmed up more and more, and I did more and more because Jim Quick, all the DJs, like Jim Morgan, Uncle Heavy, as I call him, and Jim Quick, I'm so incredibly grateful for them because they all taught me so much about DJing in the radio world, and they all taught me in their own different way. And I got to see their different styles and
let's talk about that.
Choose what I liked from their styles.
Why do you say they're all in the different ways? Because they're all going to the same end, and they're all working for the same station. Explain a little bit about their different ways.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what makes the Surf very unique and very entertaining is that they are also different. You know, you have Jim Morgan in the morning. He's giving you the music facts, the trivia. He has that classic radio host voice, like that really grabs your attention. And then it goes from him to Jim Quick, the hooting and hollering, the comedian on air. I mean, if you are feeling sleepy and you listen to his show, you'll be wide awake by the end of it. And then it goes to Heavy, who's...
So how does they cue you when to come in?
How they cue me when to come in?
How do you cue... I mean, I've been on the radio a number of years. How does he cue you because of the difference in the beginning, which you've come together so much now?
Yeah.
He may not have. So how did he cue you? Okay, it's your turn.
So that's actually very interesting, and I was about to mention that earlier. But one thing, going off of how the DJs taught me so much in their own individual way, because I spent a lot of individual time with all of them last summer, just learning the skills, I guess. But Jim Quick, I remember from day one, was like, "I'm going to throw you in the fire," and I was like, "What does that mean?" And pretty much what that means is he's going to tell me what to do and how to do it, and he's just going to make me do it. And because on radio, and I'd never been on radio before, I was like, wait, what? I'm about to go on air? And he's like, yep, here's your mic. Here's your mic. You're going to say this, this, and this. And then he would just put a headphone on or a headset on me and make me start talking. And then there'd be some times where he'd be like, all right, I'm going to go outside and take a cigarette break. You have 30 minutes to play whatever you want and go in there. And I'm like, what, me? Like, I'm just an intern. I'm like, I'm not a professional.
Did that to you?
Yes. And even though it freaked me out so much then, I learned so much from it because it forced me to gain that experience that I would not have allowed myself to do on my own. And so from him pushing me or putting me into the fire, as he says, I definitely felt the burn from it, but I definitely learned from it. And then from there, it was like...
You felt the burn, but you learned. I like
felt
that.
the burn, but I learned.
I like that.
Exactly. We should put it on a t-shirt.
Okay.
We should put it on a t-shirt. But I was able to learn from it, and then once I learned from it, I was able to begin putting my own spin on it. And also, as I got closer with the DJs, whenever we would be off the air, I would warm up to them and kind of be my more usual funny self. Yeah. And they thought I was, somehow, I don't know how, but they thought I was funny. And they would tell me, well, I appreciate that. But they would tell me, that's funny, say that on the air next segment, or like, tell that story again next segment. So then I would start to...
I've had the pleasure of meeting you off the air and on the air. And you're funny both places. You're good.
Well, I do appreciate that. I really do, because sometimes people laugh at me and I'm like, I wasn't even joking.
Make a little quick analysis into the question I asked you a while ago. One morning, not long ago, you were on with Jim Morgan.
Yeah.
And this is why I think, I'm going to tell you why the DJs like it. It was on Morgan. Yeah, Morgan, you know how structured.
Yeah.
His show is very
structured.
He allowed you to pick out the songs that morning. I forget which part of his show it was. He allowed you, and he announced it on there, that you, Harper, picked out the songs.
Yeah.
And he was very impressed with every song you picked and stated it on the air. Let people know, hey, we love this girl. Take her in.
And that's one thing that I really love about Jim Morgan as well, is that even though he's so structured and has like a very certain way of doing things, he incorporated me into that and allowed me to learn his way of doing things, which obviously is a lot different from Jim, who's going out on the cigarette break and like, play whatever you want. But Jim Morgan also, it also reminds me of my very last day of my internship last summer. I ended it with doing my own, like I think it was a 2-hour segment during Jim Quick's time slot, and then I also did all the best day ever show. And then I did the last hour of Jim Morton's show. He let me not only pick out the music but control the board, which was super huge.
Wow!
Like that Jim Morton would allow me to do that. I mean, I felt honored.
So all of a sudden, you're picking the song,
that much.
Controlling the board.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much me, but Jim Morgan was in the guest chair, just like speaking, and I was doing our mics and everything, which I do that now.
Support. He was there for support.
Yeah, I do that now for like Jim Quick's show. I do know how to run the board and work the mics and everything because of the DJs.
We can't tell that over the air, what you're doing, but I can tell or I can feel the difference.
Really?
I can feel. There was listening to Surf Along, and now a couple of years with you, and what you progress, and now you're doing some out working for the radio station, doing some advertising and things.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Tell me about that.
So I came on to the Surf, or as I was talking with Miss Jessica, we had discussed whenever I came back to work full time that I would be Jim Quick's kind of co-host and co-host here and there whenever I can, and then also be a sales rep for the surf on the side. And so whenever I went back to Clemson for my senior year, I did my second internship at the Roar, which is the Clemson Sports flagship station, and I had so much fun.
Now where?
It's the Roar.
Tell me that again.
The Roar.
No, tell me about it.
Oh, tell you about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did.
Our people may not know. We was in here.
So the Roar is the Clemson flagship station in Clemson, and I was able to do the internship because one of my really good friends, her uncle, is the morning show host. His name's Mickey Plyler. So I was on the Mickey Plyler show for all of my second semester throughout the week, mainly Monday through Wednesday.
Of which year? Second semester of which year?
Of senior year.
Senior year, okay.
So really just a few months ago I was doing this. And I definitely didn't talk as much on there because it's a all sports talk station, and I don't know exactly why I thought it'd be a good idea for me to intern at a sports station, and I didn't even know anything about sports. So I didn't even know what a pick six was until last year. But I will say I learned a lot, and I learned a lot from that style of radio, and I learned more about sports, and I also learned that, music, the music station is a little bit more my niche. Like, yeah. I'm a lot more knowledgeable with the beach music, and so, but I still loved it, and I loved working with Mickey Plyler and his two producers. He was so nice. He taught me everything. I've been very fortunate to work with all radio hosts that have been very, giving to me and very patient with me and want me to learn and want me to succeed. So I'm very grateful for that.
That is so good.
So shout out Mickey Plyler and the surf employees.
But that answers the question. Okay, we've talked about Morgan. We've talked about Quick. We know, but then what about Heavy?
Oh, Heavy. Uncle Heavy.
DJ Heavy is my brother. Every morning we text each other. Good morning, brother.
Oh, I love that.
So I got to know, how do you do with my brother Heavy? He's different. And I know it. I know it.
So I call him Uncle Heavy. And actually, ironically enough, whenever I first interned at the Serve last year, I spent the most amount of time with Jim Morgan and then DJ Heavy. In fact, I was doing a lot of segments with Heavy, so I think I got the closest with Heavy.
But such different music.
Yeah.
Totally
this is true.
Different music. Both in the same realm.
Yeah.
How would you describe the difference in the music between Morgan and Heavy? And I know that's a tough question, but
I'd say Morgan is a mix of oldie goldies, and towards the end of the show, depending on what year he's doing trivia, it might lead into some 80s.
Yeah.
So I'd say like oldie goldies, a little bit of 80s. Jim is just classic Carolina beach music. I mean, he's playing it all.
Yeah.
And then Heavy, I feel like goes more into a 70s, 80s, dare I say, even maybe a little bit of disco in there. I know he likes to play a lot of Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson, like Jackson 5. I've noticed that he puts on the beginning of his show. But it's all, what I love about it is it's all in the realm of what people could consider beach music, but it's so diverse though that you're never bored throughout the day. Like a lot of radio stations that you listen to, you're listening to one song that is going to play again within 3 hours. But if you're listening to the Surf, it's rare if you hear like a song play repeatedly all throughout the day. And the DJs are very careful about that. They will try to listen to each other's shows and make sure that they don't play what the other previous DJ had played earlier that day. And so that's what I love so much about the Surf is no matter what show I'm co-hosting for, I'm having different conversations. The vibe is different with whoever DJ I'm with, but we're still cutting up and having a good time. And the music is different. I mean, I think that's why the Surf has such a vast fan base is because you never get bored.
Okay, you're picking music now. So, Jim Morgan, you're picking music with DJ Heavy. What song would you pick first?
If I'm picking music with DJ Heavy?
Yeah. I pick Lomax.
Probably Jackson 5, Blame It on the Boogie. Because I know that Heavy likes to start with the Jackson 5 sometimes. And so I've actually picked that song at the beginning of his show before.
Well, I have found being in his studio a time or two, being friends, if I tell him I want to hear Lomax, he smiles. He loves Lomax. And very little known, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but he loves Lomax.
Yeah.
Okay, question. Okay, we've talked about 3 of them. Super Jock. Have you had the opportunity to work with Super Jock?
I actually have not. Believe it or not, I haven't, but I'm still.
We got to make that happen.
I know. I think that would be a very interesting show. We actually have not. I haven't co-hosted a show with him before, but I'm still very close with him because I see him around the surf, and he's such a great guy, such a gentleman. Every time I see him, he blows me kisses. He's like.
You may perhaps see him at a Tailgate Oyster Bar if you ever there.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
he's a regular. He's a regular. I've seen him plenty of times. In fact, it's starting to get to where I see him more at Tailgate than I do at the surf because he loves the food and he's a regular, and I love to see him.
He's different. I love every DJ there, including you.
I appreciate that.
The thing I love is the difference in what each of them does. Mm-hmm. Everyone, as you say, is slightly different. Yeah. And I find you can fit into the 4 categories. Well, that is unique.
And I try. I try to do that on purpose. I try to match vibes with whoever I'm with, but I will say it's not a hard task because I love all of them. So it's so easy to just get along and crack up with each and every one of them.
But they're all 4 different, right?
Yeah, very different.
And every time you got the ability to fit in. Well, that is a talent, really. I have nothing but highest regards for you, as you may have picked out by now. That's the reason you're sitting here today. The reason I wanted you on a podcast, because I recognize your talents to be far above average talent, way above in the studio. And I think the surf did a great job bringing you here. I really do.
You're flattering me too much. You're making me blush.
I call it the way I see it. Now, tell me the story. Miss Cheeseburger.
Oh, no.
I got to hear that.
I knew this was coming up.
I can't let you finish without telling about Miss Cheeseburger.
Okay. Here I go, I guess. I guess I'll tell it. So, I guess there's a little bit of a backstory. So, as many may know...
There's no such thing as a bad story.
No, a backstory.
Oh, okay.
A backstory.
Okay, gotcha.
This might be a bad story, but this is the backstory to the bad story.
No.
But, as many of you know, I started randomly. I don't even know how this came to be, but I started calling Jim Quick on the air Pork Chop. And a lot of people really fell in love with that nickname that I call him.
I love it.
They thought it was hilarious. And so I started saying it about almost every single time I was on the air. I'd slide it in there. Like, somewhere within the show, I call it Pork Chop. And we'll even get phone calls, people just saying, that's so funny, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how much Jim Quick
likes it. How did you come up with that?
I really don't know. I wonder if I heard...
He talked about pork chops at Mother Tucker's or at Blue Drum.
I think that's what it was. I think he was saying the lunch special, and then I called him a pork chop, and then he started laughing so much, and then it really resonated with listeners, and they really liked it, so I just kept calling him that. And so, on the Tiki Bar, on Fridays, sometimes whenever I'm there, and I haven't eaten breakfast, I will get food while I'm there. What do I get? A cheeseburger, because I love cheeseburger. It's not even a double cheeseburger either. It's just a normal cheeseburger. That's why I'm like, where did double come from? But
So who came up with that?
Huh?
Who came up with that?
Rick Costco.
Okay.
Because I sometimes Ponytail Rick. Sometimes I will sell the t-shirts at the Tiki Bar, and Rick will help me sell them, and vice versa. And there's this one day I was eating a cheeseburger while I was taking a break from selling the t-shirts. And the way that he called me over to him was he called me, yo, double cheeseburger. I'm like, is he talking to me?
Rick?
I'm like, yeah. I was like,
Rick?
You talking to me? Like, double cheeseburger. After that, I can't remember who heard it, but someone else heard it and thought it was hilarious. Then after that, it just started to catch on. Rick started telling people to call me Double Cheeseburger. People thought it was funny. And then now Josh Brown, as you know, who just came in here and did another podcast.
He may have mentioned that during his podcast, just in case you wonder.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I did. I did unfortunately hear about that. But he calls me Double Cheeseburger now at tailgate.
I think it's a great name.
Well, I appreciate it.
I love
But now the employees at tailgate, they also will call me Double Cheeseburger, and I'm just think this is humorous because I'm like, it's so funny how this nickname is called on, and I think this is my karma for calling Jim Quick Pork Chop. This is my karma that now it's Double Cheeseburger and Pork Chop. You know.
Well, you get Rick and his brother Brian and his sister-in-law Angela together, and anything's liable to happen. Three great people, but anything's liable to happen.
That's exactly what I've learned. You're exactly right. But the funny thing is that Jim Quick, whenever I call him Pork Chop, he says, people are going to think I'm fat and you call me Pork Chop. But now that my name is Double Cheeseburger, I'm like, well, people are going to think that I'm fatter. And they don't know what I look like. They're going to assume I'm fatter than you if they're calling me Double Cheeseburger. But I like it. It's grown on me.
Oh.
It has.
Okay. Question of the day.
Okay, I'm ready.
What is beach music?
This is a very loaded question.
It is.
This is a very loaded question.
I want to see what a Clemson graduate would analyze to be.
Well, I'm a college major, so take it easy.
Okay.
Take it easy. I am a college major now.
Got it.
But I would say, whenever I think of what is beach music, I think of community. That is the biggest word that rings in my head. Now? Community.
Okay. Explain.
But I
need you to elaborate on that.
Okay.
I like that.
See, like this, it's so vast and diverse in my brain. I gotta really double down on it. A double cheeseburger's gotta double down on what this means to me. I would say that beach music reminds me of community because in the world of beach music, everyone is intertwined together and almost seems to be friends with each other. Like wherever beach music is, there's people dancing, there's people laughing, there's people drinking, there's people shagging, there's just joy and community, and everyone. It's just its own very niche culture that there's no crying in beach music, and that I've always heard that.
Yeah, no what?
There's no crying.
Okay.
And I've heard that from Jim Quick, and as I've been,
I had not heard that, but I like that.
But I'm like, that's so true because the music is happy, the people are happy. Like you're either dancing or you're singing along with the music, and I also say community because not only do I feel like almost everyone's family and knows each other, but you can meet someone at a beach music event that you don't even know and become the best of friends with them and feel like you've known them for a million years by the end of the night.
If I'm going to speak briefly, I know you were in Savannah Friday, and I missed you, but I met someone that I had never met, Mr. Beach. I've heard of him. I've seen him called out many times on the radio.
Yeah.
I met him and his wife, Kimmy. Super people, and they're just like you say, they are family.
Mm-hmm.
They are community. I love it. You're a part of that. You walked in a part of that somehow.
Somehow.
You did.
By the grace of the good Lord, I found my way here.
But there's so many people there. We just love them.
Mm-hmm.
You love them. I love them. Not because anything other than we all have the same goals to make beach music the best it can be.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So how do you plan to do that?
I plan to be the very best radio host that I can possibly be. And I hope to continue to grow as right now Jim's co-host. Continue to grow more with that and just become more involved with the beach music events and see how I can do my part to contribute.
What events are your favorite? Do you have a favorite? I have mine. Let's see if you have yours.
I mean, I love SOS.
Okay.
You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
I mean, it's like the number one event. You can't go wrong with it. I also love Junior SOS because I love to see the people my age, slightly older, and then I mean, I would say slightly younger, but I see 3-year-olds out there, so that's a lot younger than me. But I love Junior SOS because I love to see the next generation of beach music, and it really excites me. And so
Awesome.
I have a soft
that.
spot for Junior
I love
SOS.
that.
As a younger,
Well, I can have a
beach
soft
music.
spot for SOS. And I love we've got so many good groups coming in.
Yes.
And this year, we're looking at North Tower, who happens to be, for some reason, one of my favorites. We got the Main Event Band. Of course, we always got the Band of Oz twice. We got Greg Willard and the Embers twice. I'm looking forward on the first night. Gary Louder's going to be in there. It's been a while since he's been the opening night of SOS.
Yeah.
Gary Louder, God, it's so wonderful music. So many good people. So many good friends.
Yeah.
And there are different groups that show up every night. But you know what those groups have in common? The next day, they're like this.
Exactly.
They're all about the beach. I may like Band of Oz better. I may like Gary Louder better. But we all love beach music. Exactly. And that's what you love. That's what I'm seeing.
That's the
what I'm hearing.
community aspect.
That's what I'm hearing, that you like that.
That's my favorite part. It's just you never meet a stranger.
Good point.
You never meet a stranger. If they're a stranger at first, talk to them for 15 seconds, and they'll be your sneaking cousin. Like, they'll be tighter than thieves. Is that the saying?
That's like you're now my granddaughter. I'm gonna announce in public that you are now my granddaughter.
This is the official announcement. And you're my new grandpa.
You got it,
and I am so excited to now be a part of your family.
I'm so excited.
And I'm expecting messages for the next Thanksgiving and the next Christmas dinners, and I'm going to be...
Oh, you're going to be there. Every time. You're number one.
Well,
you're number two. Debbie's number one. You're number one, too. Oh, my Lord. Let me tell you something. Our time is up.
Oh, my goodness, really?
We've surpassed our time.
Oh, my goodness.
I got to tell you, when you're having fun, someone like it's been today, I love it. Harper, I love the energy you bring.
Well, thank you.
I love the music that you enjoy. I love what you're doing with the surf. I love what you're doing to promote beach music. I am a strong believer that I want beach music to last. And it's because of people like you, especially people your age, that move in and make it a part of the lives of all these beach music families. Yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
Of course.
You are a winner. You're number one. Okay.
You're too much. I appreciate it.
Hey, I tell the way I see it. Okay. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been the greatest time. I'm so honored that I made it on the podcast. I feel like I really made it in the beach music community that you've asked me to be on.
You made it a long time before I invited you. You were already there. I just waited to get... God, I got you at your peak. I mean, you're...
Well, thank
you. No, wait, you ain't near your peak yet. You're still going.
Yeah, I hope this isn't my peak. I hope I continue. Maybe I'll make it to Jim Quick status. Who knows? Who knows?
I give you that.
I can't sing, obviously, from the voice crack it's in it, but...
Well, he started at age 15. You ever heard the story about how he got his first gig?
I don't.
Well,
I think so.
Go listen to his podcast on Surfside Stories.
I will.
My first question, which came first, singing or DJing? And he tells the story. So you can watch the podcast
I'm excited.
on YouTube on Jim Quick.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm excited.
This has been so awesome. Folks, thank you so much. YouTube got Surfside Stories. It's going to be on there in just a couple weeks. Bo Gilbert's ExploreNMB.com. It's going to be on there. It's going to be on Roku TV on the Beach Music channel. Also, if you're driving, you want to listen, go to Spotify. You can hear it while you're driving. Don't have to take your eyes off the road and still get all the excitement of this young lady who is our next hero.
Oh, goodness.
At the surf. And I'm going to tell Jessica this. Jessica, you did a great job, girl. You really did. Jessica and I are tight, okay? You did a great job with the
thank you
wonderful,
so much.
And thank you again for being here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
I'm so glad to be here.
From me and my granddaughter, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.